Emefa Akosiadeti, and this is the news desk coming up this morning. Some homes in Accra still flooded hours after rains plagued Accra. And also on our decks this morning, Abosokai spare parts dealers ask members to reduce prices of goods to reflect current cedi appreciation. My colleague Collins Frimpong is there, and Emefa Akosiadeti is there, and will bring us details as to whether or not they are reducing or they're still on a standstill. Now, we've got these plus some business updates on our desk. Do stay for details. Welcome back to News Desk. Now let's start with the flooding in Accra. Some homes in the Greater Accra region are still flooded hours after torrential rains plagued Accra. Joy News checks revealed that cars have also been grounded as a result of Sunday's rains. Collins Frimpong has been touring some areas and joins us with updates. Collins, where are you now and what can you report?
Accra region, specifically at the Lakeside Room 6. This is one of the areas that have been seriously hit by yesterday's flood. When we came here, our initial assessment, we've realized that many houses yesterday were flooded in this particular area, and we will be engaging some of the people that their houses were affected. And also we have seen many cars also here. At least I can count about 4 cars that were flooded yesterday, and many shops. We will be engaging some of the business women that their shops have been destroyed here. But first of all, I have a gentleman here with me that yesterday his house behind me, this particular house, got flooded yesterday. Please, what's your name?
My name is Enoch. Yeah, I live around this area, I would say like 5 years now. Yeah, and this tragedy, although it do happen, but it have not happened the way we are seeing it now, because the rain started like that was yesterday around from 5 that way going. Yeah, and it was massive, and we didn't take it easy at all. How to cross the bridge coming to our home, we find it difficult. Yeah, because the way they constructed the bridge, that's my worry. The way they constructed the bridge, and you see the road, you could see that the bridge is down, and when you see where the water too is coming from, it's coming from Dodowa Ebri. That's where it leads to our end here. And you can see, you yourself, you can witness what is going on over here. So we need a help. We need a help. The government should come to our aid, to come and assess the area and the bridge and reconstructed it well for us, that we will be safer. Because some of us, as I'm speaking now, we didn't go to work. We are still removing our things in the room.
When I came, I saw you trying to get some of their things from the room. Was the place flooded?
Yeah, it's flooded throughout.
How did you manage to stay there today?
Actually, as it happened like that, I need to come out because I have a family and we have to come out and let the water come down before we can access to certain things that we can take things out from the room. Yeah, that's how we came out from the room, and the room flooded. So as the water come down, before we get access to the room to pick things out, I can tell you that everything is spoiled. You can see behind me, you can see the watches cellar, you can see some of the mattresses, so many things. Everything is spoiled. Everything is spoiled. Yeah.
Sorry. All right. So this is the current situation here at Lakeside Room 6. On my left is a joint business area where we can get somebody a joint where they sell wache. There is a barber shop. All these shops over there were flooded yesterday, and they are trying to salvage some of the things inside. So here at Lakeside Estate in the Adenta municipality, we will be taking you around for you to know the situation, the real impact of yesterday's flood here. So that's what we are going to do. What we've been told is that the house or this particular community yesterday was submerged, and this building, as you could see, even the wall there got flooded. So that's the real situation, and houses over here yesterday were also submerged. This particular house here that you are seeing yesterday was submerged, and everything inside there, we are trying to get people in there to speak with. This house also, everything has, the house, the building itself is in a bad state now because of yesterday's impact over there. We will be speaking with more people that were affected yesterday. What we've picked here is that about 6 cars that we will be showing you in your shots were submerged, and also many shops were also badly hit yesterday at Adenta or Lakeside Room 6 and in the Adenta municipality. That we have many people here. We will be engaging. We do not know whether people were being taken away, but what we've been told is that there is also another community after this particular community, that's Lakeside Room 6, that about 4 people were taken away by yesterday's flood. But this particular community, nobody was being taken away by the flood. But what we know, what we have seen, first-hand information, many shops have been destroyed, many shops have been damaged, many properties, many cars have been damaged over here. And also, you can see many people are trying to salvage things from their shops. This early morning at Room 6, Lakeside, many shops have been destroyed. Most of the things that they are selling in the shops are provisions. I can see foodstuffs, I can see drinks, I can see well, let me engage one of the women or business women that have been hit here. Mommy, good morning. Mrs. Talk. Right, mommy, sorry. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name? And what's your name?
My name is Anita.
How have you been affected? I know I can see the first-hand information that your shops have been affected by yesterday's flood. How were you hit?
Very hurt. Very hurt that I cannot even explain. Because yentimi, I cannot abanomiti me. A car. You should not hire pa. Yentimi. Today I can say mumbe boy. Yentimi suya.
When the first time I saw you is one man I say a dicey.
Because say when the first time I know the passes I be shopping. I know the BC, but I said that and you didn't say. But wait dear, I know the Yaman na say. Menuka say, into me back a while better me.
And Penimphobia, I think first time I see any Embra Goswesino, Obiamba, so mobile more service situation.
Omubaye, but Omuba no money Becasa say, Omuko Mabium. Say ya, de be a Mubeba, Omunia Beba Becasa, no Moko. Wait the moon, why I mean, did you say you might meet me? I abuse. I know the pa.
Kafra. So MFA, what she said literally was that they've been badly hit by yesterday's rain downpour that occurred around 3 p.m. thereabouts late in the afternoon, and this is their shop, or yes, a big shop for that matter. You can see in your shots many things have been destroyed, and they are trying to clean the environment. I can count about 8 people in there that are cleaning the shops, and the thing that they are selling, their provisions and also other items that are not consumable, like detergent that they sell in there. And also on my left over there, that the business or the shop owner will not speak with us. Also her shop, she sells provisions. Everything that she sells in there have also been destroyed during yesterday's flood, even though she tells us that because of the situation, it happens most of the time, but nothing really happens. When it happens, people will come here, people will come and do reports, leaders will come in, MPs, assembly members, everybody will come in, and they will try to save the situation or help them. That's what they will tell them. But at the end of the day, they don't come in to help them. So she is literally tired, and as a result, she wouldn't want to talk to us. But we can see the devastating nature, the impact of the flood, how it affected her shop yesterday. Everything in the shop, they have to bring everything out and try to clean many things. Here also, we can see that there is a big gutter over here, and even though the gutter has a bridge on it, according to the residents, it is not big enough to accommodate the volume of water that it's supposed to. They need a gutter to contain that particular volume. So the current gutter is not good enough, and leaders came around that they were trying to assist them. Contractors came around, they left the place, and now the place has been flooded and has caused huge impact over here. So in your shot, you are seeing a van that was parked yesterday. It wasn't in the state. It went out, it worked, and today or yesterday's rain, this is what has affected, or this is what has happened. We want to speak to some of the people here that these cars, they own them. There is also another car here, this particular van that has been capsized. That wasn't the situation yesterday. It was in good position and was movable. As a matter of fact, it had been working throughout the whole week, but because of yesterday's rain, it turned upside down. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Pacho, I'm here from
Mede Doku Takwate.
Sir, what's the area Mhasebi? Situation and Kasai say
situation is no hunu no sana ayano. Every say so na esiba no na abro dwa obiane na adwene ne ntiase so. Nso ta to ema na yiri ba we die na ya na anwene hu se betimi akọ sei. Nti ama ejapade bebre ni ne ma bebre asai. Se wa de wani hu de ekoso na ohwe cars na ebi nsu ni mienu nsu wo nsuo num ba kokura de ye hu ana wa ha no nkrofo fie kura bubu agum nema bebre na senti station na wabeto no saa na ye wo mu e wa ha
area me say ya nyane ntie se community na to aso no enipa nsu ni fa nipa bi nipa bese for aha te sen
aha no mo no de ye hu se nsu afọ obi de but yate ba san se ye ntime nnu ho no mo nti ye hu se na e ho no mo de no nso etie esan se ye to aso aha nyina ye Lakeside ne na krom na aka bom nti to aso a eko nti se na watere no ebetime asisa
de be na mo to aban
de be to aban nim se aban emfri ni pem na ombeboa yen na afen nso no ohwe bebia nso no efa kọ nso kese bi wase nso no efa kom ye ehu ni se bebia nso ni fa no nkrofo akọfele ho no mu e da ya asase a omosidan e woso nti nso no e basa enyankwan nkọ nti enyankwan nkọ no enya kopempe esan na chi a na afladen ya ye wa ha no nyina nti enu na ye sra ban se ombehwe no hwe na se be ombetumi apai kwan na tum akọ kese no mu no na ye nyina ye ho aton wa ha.
That's baby. Yene enipa bebre nchochu nkomo, but so as you can see, that is the big drain system, or it's supposed to be a drainage system, but they have, or authorities, when they give out the contract, that the contractor move to site after few days that the contractor started working. Based on the narrative that we have received from the folks in this community, the contractor packed again and he hasn't returned to site. And the bridge that you are seeing, it's not big enough to accommodate the volumes of water. And as we heard the other man, the one that we just spoke with, and he tells us that the waterways have been blocked by people that they filled the waterways and have built on it. So as a result, now the water has to find ways and means to go away. Let's speak with more people. Good morning. Pacho Frozen.
I'm from Yakubu.
Pacho, a coin bed in Sunesiafa, how?
Oh, one of me said, nurse for Italian, my nurse in you. I am a doctor. Me a mechanic na me wahano. In Siono, some bit my boy, the only thing say, a hanaka with my baby got a mo, yes, with my baby got a mamaya. With my baby got a amaya. Aka, your bed amasi. Eh, Musman Tanasi, Mudrani, Abeshe. Me, I'm a genasi, say our brother. Yamenqua. Cars back 5 o'clock. Me knew 5 o'clock. Ebasano. Made me fight for a Japadian so. me fa no nipa na cars na afa a de ko no ka bet my cars ni bi but nipa na cars na afa de ko no na me forget it
nti wo ankasa no hu se nsuo ne di nipa ko
oh nsuo di nipa ko ma bi kura wo ase ha kura nsuo ne kum
wo ankasa wo hu se nsuo no
yes nsuo ne kum na wa ha ya nsuo ne kum no me di cars na echi ko na ma ko ti se nsuo na kum obi wo ase ha so we meet my boy there yesre mo
na o motima yi na fi
o mayi na fi mu ayesa no nsuo ne yiri ye eden no ayesa gota no no toye nsuo ne yiri eden no so wo dem mo
nti metiase a ne fie no wo ne fie nti nsuo ne yiri fa mu no a fa ne fie no wontimi amba bonten
yeah wontimi amba bonten because they see you know un suspect say ebeba na sa eba preko so eyiri but nduru ade ne de ebroso
apart from ono no hu enipa bie man nso ne dom
debi de etimi yi omo ha dem call de etimi CV amafo but they who ase nkwa na menim say de bi mu kode a bioma menim but de omo ha na etimi CV
adisrede be na de beto aban ne ndin kan pokra ne mpanimfo aba MP na assembly member say aba ase
ya pa mo chow omo boae enye omo a ntimi nya hwemfa ho omo na ye panifo so ye kote jogu form say omo timi boae ndo ase kura na pa kura mi tabae na ambulance na be fa me wa because of send me pray for nipa nkwanti no so me boy.
Thank you. So that's how bad this particular community, room 6 Lakeside in the Adenta municipality, has been hit. So about 5 cars yesterday were destroyed by the rains, and also many shops have been destroyed, as well as homes that were flooded. And I can't even count the number of houses that I have seen today that were flooded yesterday. So this shop also, the owner that you are seeing the shots will not engage us, but earlier concern that she told us is that when it happens this way, even though this is not the first time that it has been happening, this is the first time that such flooding situation has occurred in the Adenta municipality. Presiding does the Lakeside room 6. Her shop, everything have been destroyed. The bridge over there is not big enough to contain the volumes of the water that they need. And that's the situation. More people here that we want to engage. Good morning, Daddy. Good morning, Daddy.
Morning.
Situation to say, and pay. What we share there na the aquafasa flood in the abasi.
Masa, easy waha. Niama aba waha no easy. Na amafo dan ya omo si gota nano. Ni niama yese gota no hunya enya access. Sana be ya se nsuo no ko ekom no. Omo ablock gota no ho nyina. Adenti na eba no sa. Sesi aso omo achene gotes kase every katamanso top ho no nyina abeto aha. Dodowa road no so omo ye no. Oho nyina gotes no nyina omo di to aha. Enti sa aban no fa na nim behwe aha no. Na omo hu se na omo be ya yi gotes no se na ebe ya isho no every dodowa road no mu ni di every katamanso no nyina fa aha no e kwa ende ebe wu aha. Because aha no no enye say ye wo nsuom. Say insho mu na ye wo. But got an ho amo si a nsuo no enko no any baby a nsuo no free a omo chene gotes ni nya beto no e say den omo mra behwe na omo ye maye na ye ho toye.
Right, so he tells us that this particular situation has occurred because of people building in waterways, and they have blocked quite a number of areas, a number of drain systems. That was what he was telling us. So they are pleading with the government to come to their aid.
Frimpong bringing us a live update from Lakeside. And Lakeside is not just the only affected place. A similar situation on the East Legon Hill stretch around School Junction. Many properties destroyed and many parts of Accra as well. Now, the Ghana Meteorological Agency says we should get ready for more rains. Now, let's speak to Joshua Asamoah. He is a senior forecaster at Ghana Meteorological Agency. We'll also talk to Engineer Richard Ameko. He is Director of Drains, Ghana Highway Authority. But let's start with the weather forecaster first. Joshua, thank you for joining us this morning. And so, following your forecast, yesterday's rain Did you anticipate this much rain? Did you forecast this amount of rain yesterday?
Yes, we did. We actually expected some quite heavy rainfall for coastal Ghana. It's not just Greater Accra. So from the Volta to the central regions, we were expecting some heavy rainfall to occur in these areas. And we actually went ahead to issue a warning for the possibility of flash floods within these regions. So it was anticipated.
Right. Let's look at what your data says. I know that we've seen torrential rains, we've seen very heavy rains or extreme situations before, but this one that happened yesterday, has it happened many times per your data? Was it? I mean, you've indicated that you expected this amount of rain, but this amount, is it something that is surprising to you?
Not at all. In fact, it doesn't even go into the top 20% of rainfall amounts that we've seen in Accra. From the rainfall amounts we are getting around the airport is about 30 millimeters. If you move away from here, it means the highest we are getting is about 50 millimeters, which is quite normal. Because we've seen over 200 millimeters of rainfall experienced in Accra. And so it is not the worst rainfall that we've seen here. In fact, it doesn't make it to the top 10.
Interesting. And our properties are getting destroyed already. But which of the regions so far would you say that will be recording this similar or even serious rains in the coming days?
We've seen higher amounts of rainfall in other regions during the season. In the Ashanti, in the eastern region, parts of the Volta region, western regions have been experiencing very much higher amounts of rainfall than what we saw yesterday for Greater Accra, and it's actually going to continue. These regions are the areas where we get most heavy amounts of quite frequent in these areas. For Greater Accra, it occurs seldomly, but most of the time when it occurs, the impact that is associated with the events is quite higher than the other regions. Well, because we are actually in a low-lying area, and the rainfall in other regions also impacts us in a way, since they want to find their way into the sea. The runoff will eventually have its impact on us as well.
Oh, right.
So it's not just the amount of rainfall in Accra. Other contributing factors also lead to the flooding.
Would you forecast that it is going to be continuous, or say, for example, yesterday it rained, would have some respite and then it will come a little later? What's going to be the time frames?
Well, that's what we anticipate for Greater Accra.
Okay.
We're not going to have that consecutive days of rainfall that much in Greater Accra. Today is quite fair, and we expect that we'll get some rainfall within the week, but the intensity will not be as high as what we saw yesterday. That's how the season is going to look like. So we have some rain, have some days off before another comes in. It's not going to be that continuous rainfall. But if we move away from Greater Accra, in other regions like the eastern, the Ashanti and western, there's a possibility that we'll be getting these continuous days of rainfall.
But tell me, and this question, the elements in there are quite close. Is it a matter of just weather, or you would contribute this as well to climate change trends?
I get to this a lot. So
oh, I'm sorry. I don't know whether Joshua is
it's changing with respect to rain.
Joshua, I lost you for a second. If you can rehash the beginning of your point.
Right. So I'm saying that with regards to rainfall.
Okay, whilst I try to reconnect to Joshua, let me talk to Richard Ameko, Director of Drains, Ghana Highway Authority. And good morning, and thank you for staying with me all through. Can you at least tell me how this morning is looking? It's the day after the rain yesterday. Let's know how commuters are comfortable to use our roads today.
Okay, good morning, my sister. Just a few corrections. I'm not from Ghana Highway Authority, but I'm from Ghana Hydrological Authority. Yeah. Okay.
Ghana Hydro what?
Hydrological Authority.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you give us a bit of assessment of today, how our roads are going to be looking and how commuters can use the road today?
Okay, so from the hydrological perspective, I mean, I don't think we have so much issue with our roads. I mean, I will speak from the hydrology side. We look at our mandate is about the storm drains in Ghana. But then what is happening is because our highways has a kind of depression at some points, so when it rains, water collects at those depressed areas. But the issue is, the roadside drains are not functioning as they should be. It is all because there's a heavy siltation in those drains. Okay? So if you're driving on our highways and the rest, you see that sand collects or gathers at the edges of the roads, which for some time now, it seems we've not been working on them. They've not been cleaning them. Elsewhere you go, you see them sweeping the roads and the rest. But then what is happening is that all this sand goes into the roadside drains and they are choked. So if it's rain heavily, the roads rather suffer. Instead of the drains along the roads to be able to convey the surface runoff from the roads into a primary drain or secondary drain, it is not happening so. That is what we call flash flood. So as of yesterday, I can mention a few places to you that they had the issue. But as of this morning, you don't find any water on those roads, you see. So it means that the roadside drains must be quickly looked at to desilt all those drains. Yes, but, so then we don't have such issues anymore.
Okay. Richard, can you help me understand something here? It won't be the first time we've had flooding in this country. And as well, there have been some drains. I recall that N1, some drainages were incorporated at the time that it was being built. So what is really causing it? Is it the drainage systems that are not done well, they are not engineered well? Or if you look at the videos of some of the filth that has been involved in the drainage systems, give me a distinction. Which one is the major problem we're facing? Engineering of the drainages, or it's just our behavioral patterns?
Okay, so behavioral pattern and also lack of maintenance. Our culture of maintenance is a bit poor. Okay, the drains, every road has drains. All the roads we have, they have. So as I said, now if you're driving, you just take your time and observe, watch at the edges of our roads. You see that they've created some holes that can accommodate surface runoff from the roads. But those holes they are all blocked. And if you see the edges of the roads, it has a lot of sand gathered at those edges. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So if it rains, they all moved in. The water pushes all those sand into the drain. Okay. So now if you go and remove all the slabs, you find that all the drains are silted, so they are not functioning. So this is a challenge. So what we need to look at is the maintenance culture. I mean, we should quickly go into that, start desilting our roadside drains, and I'm sure we'll be fine with, water gathers on our roads if it rains.
Okay. Please hang in there for a minute. I want to go back to Joshua. Joshua, so I wanted to know whether the kind of rains we're seeing yesterday is just regular weather, it's just attributed to weather, or major concerns about climate change?
Well, the factors that lead to climate change can be considered in this regard, but not necessarily due to climate change itself. Because when it comes to rainfall and look at the data that we have, you can say that the change is statistically significant. And so you cannot conclude that it's climate change, but there's that variations in there. So climate variability is ongoing. We're seeing some differences in the patterns and even in the intensity of rainfall that we see. But if you want to conclude that it is climate change, it has to be statistically significant, which at the moment is not. And so we cannot conclude in that way. Okay,
Joshua, finally, before I let you go, again, rehash this week's forecast. I also know that there was an app that you had, the agency had introduced some time ago, and how effective this app is functioning, if we can really rely on it.
Yes, so this week we anticipate some rainfall. In fact, we actually send out the weekly outlook later today. Maybe latest by 5 p.m. the outlook should be out. So we'll all get to know what we anticipate for the week. But I can say that today looks quite fair. Worst case scenario, we'll get some showers around the inland parts of Greater Accra, that's around the Pokwasi, Amasaman areas. For us, very close to the ocean, the chance that we'll get rainfall is very low. It will be quite bright today. And we expect some rainfall, but more details on that will come in the outlook that will come later today.
I look forward to that later around. I'll look forward to that release around 5 p.m. today.
Sure. So
all right, Joshua.
The app is my Flood Risk Accra app.
Please proceed.
Yes. So the app is my Flood Risk Accra app. We use that one to communicate anytime there's rainfall anticipated for anywhere in Accra. There's a possibility of flooding. The water levels will be seen on that app. Also on our website, meteo.gov.gh, you see there's a standard way of sending alerts out. It's called the Common Alerting Protocol. If you go there, you see all the alerts. If there's a possibility of flash flood or heavy rainfall, thunderstorm, the impact that it will have will all be there. And so you'll be able to see the areas that will be affected and then the instructions for people who live in these areas, what they should do when they see these events. So you'd want to use the website as well. You get a lot of information there. It will be very useful for planning.
All right, Joshua, thank you. I'll go back to Mr. Richard Ameko. Please let me in again on your mandate so that I can ask a few specific questions. Again, so for the drainage, and whilst you're at it, let me understand what you mean by maintenance culture. How often should we drain or silt our drainage systems? Let me understand your mandate first.
Okay, thank you very much. So if I say maintenance culture, I mean, you know that as an individual, if you put up a structure, you should have a maintenance culture to have the system resilient, I mean, working effectively. So once you negate that, it means that you have problem. And you know that in Ghana, we have a lot of places that are not green. We have a lot of places that are laid bare. So what happens is that if it rains, it carries a lot of sand and foreign materials. Okay. So at least in every year, if you carry out, I mean, you desilt before the rains and after the rains too, you desilt. I think that would be more appropriate to keep the system working effectively. That's what I mean by, but then we undertake this. I mean, if you see a storm drain, construction, big ones and the rest, that's our mandate.
Okay.
So currently we are dredging some of the, if you go to Odo, I mean, there's so much activity ongoing there. We are dredging the Odo. So this time we didn't hear cycle flooding.
Okay.
Now let me go back to, the videos you are showing on your screen in regards to Ashiye Fulani area. Yes, I knew very well that this will happen if there's a heavy downpour. It's not because of, the way we are building. We are not controlling development properly in this country. It's about time the local authorities have to put their feet down and then take drastic decisions on people, developing anyhow without permit. Okay.
Okay.
So now what is happening to them is as a result of, the source is from Ebri.
Okay.
Exactly. So what is happening is, if you go to Ebri, Ayimensa area, people are developing the hills. They are disturbing the vegetation of the hill. They are clearing everywhere and they are putting up structures. So what happened is that the runoff increases. You will have little of infiltration into the soil. So when it rains, but once on the hill, it runs faster to those people at the foot of the hill, which is downpour area, Oyibi, Shalibotre. That whole place is called the Sakumono Basin. So we have a stream there called Mama Human. Okay. People living there, or they're all living close to that, and it has a very nice, lagoon. But if you go there now, they have encroached severe. They've built close. They feel majority of the part of the lagoon is gone. So now if it rains and the water comes, where will it go? It will go into their rooms. It will go into their homes. This is what people are not getting clear. So somebody will be like, I've been in this area for so many years. I've not experienced this, but why now? It is because people are developing upstream. Do you get it?
Well, yeah.
So once the flow increases, the volume increases, Okay, and it overwhelmed the system. It overwhelmed the system.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Richard Ameko, for talking to Engineer Richard Ameko, actually bringing us an understanding about how we're building in waterways as well. But moving away from the flooding, we'll bring you more on that in our midday bulletin. But let's go to Abosokan, where Spare Parts Dealers Association in the Greater Accra region is asking its members to reduce prices of spare parts in response to the recent appreciation of the Ghana cedis against the US dollar. Now, leaders of the group say this will bring some relief to customers and support government's efforts to stabilize prices of goods and services across the country. Semefa Pesu is at Abosokan to check compliance to this directive, and she joins us. Semefa, confirm to me, are they really reducing the prices?
It will be reduced as spare parts, but then the spare part dealers, are they doing due diligence to this? We will find out in a jiffy, but we know that drivers are also threatening to increase transport prices due to spare parts prices and fuel. Fuel too has been reduced for some time now. It's left with the spare parts. So we want to find out how they are taking this, especially this time that their leadership is asking them to actually adjust their prices so that the public can actually feel the impact of the city, and also to support the government's policy in stabilizing the city. So let's find out from them what they are doing. Are they really going to adjust their prices? So good morning. You are live on Joy News. Thank you for joining us. So we want to find out from you. Your leadership is asking that you adjust prices of your spare parts so that at least the Ghanaian public can actually benefit.
Dora no da ben start say e depreciate. And the nioma wo ho nyina nso ye nioma e wo ho dada. Though the leadership they are doing very well. Se si ade betumi aboa, se e ka se bibi ye reduce price na na say e depreciate here. Those who can feel it are the final consumers. Se e ka final consumers, who are those people? Final consumer said that they are me tone, se e ka se final consumer or no car owner na say driver na oba beto. E de akwa akwa ne car no one ye final consumer. Enti said that they we se metono. Ebi a first na 20 Ghana. Na final consumer no oba no beto ni 15 cedis a obe feel it. Se see a enioma yedai, enioma aba form. As I'm speaking to you now no, se see a okwa bank rate ni 12.4. Busa won say e affected the system ana, which is no. Because se see no, se okọ na aka se okọ akwa akoto a, unless e be a bank manager be, you show all your documents, say me passport and me visa ni, me take it, me yesi. And no crap only bank manager be, why are you going to get that dollar rate? Oko black market, as I'm speaking to you now, is 13.8. Some of them are selling it 14. Once one person too quiet, we need manager be or definitely, and we have to go and buy that. And it is 1% system, no, a good like they are doing is very good. As I said, my flat rate. Se bia within 4 months, e bia those importers, e bia dollar no benya 12 cedis, and e bia the 20 feet with the bar, assuming me fancy bia 20,000, with the 40 feet bar 30,000 for 4 months. And when import and one bar, on fa wherever the rate of reach, on one fa sa, ne de ne say, or bar or kwa kutua so duty, and no nebema yenya effect of reduction of the rate, friends, a dollar rate, in the system. And yes, idea, one more kind of top, but when you come down, and yes, and you might be very different. Though I believe in the leadership, say they can do it. If only they can sustain it. Say, see, as any rate in a duno, one bet me a maintainiana, a perform the system will be good. And yes, idea, price in the eternity, because when you my woman hanging out, I'm a an old price. Nti se amekwa akwa to bia ne bia price na ba form ase na etie bia no esese menso me yedai meti price ne so anye sa de a ye hu
Patrick saying
ye frame na Kwame.
Right, so MFA, what Nana Kwame is trying to say is that they need assurance from government that they will stabilize the city for a period of maybe 4 months, 5 months, and then give them a flat rate on their imports. And according to him, the goods that they are having currently are goods that was up to 15, 16 per dollar, so they cannot reduce these prices. So he is saying they are also not feeling the impact, just as the general public is not feeling it. We'll get more views from some other dealers over here. Hi sir, good morning. How are you doing? Please, your leadership is saying that you should adjust your prices at least so that the public can feel the impact of the appreciation of the cedi. What do you have to say to this?
Okay, at the moment, we can just reduce the prices of our goods because the goods that we are having here is an old stock. You understand? So right now, we need to sell them, or we need to get time to sell them, and after that we need to buy new goods. If actually the prices or the rate, that's the dollar rate, remains the same or even stable, that's when we can say we can adjust the prices small for customers to buy.
But for the spare part dealers, are you feeling the appreciation of the cedi? Is it affecting your importation?
For now, I have not done any. I've not bought any goods, so for now I can't speak for a fact that goods things have been like I don't for now I don't see it. Do you understand? For now I don't see it, but until I buy goods, that's when I'll know.
If you get the assurance from government that they are going to stabilize the cedi for maybe a period of 5 months, 6 months, are you going to reduce your goods for the public?
Yeah, why not? We will. If only they assure us. That's after that, after when we've been able to sell our old stocks. You understand? After that, we can do that.
So until you are sold out on old stock, you cannot reduce prices on your spare parts?
Not sold out totally, but if we know how we do our thing, so if we are able to sell part of our car parts, that's when we will know whether the new goods come in, we can reduce them or we cannot.
So MFA, just as you heard there, he's also saying that these are old stock and they cannot reduce the prices until they are sold out and they have another imports coming in or goods coming in before they can reduce it for the general public. Let's hear some more views. Hi sir, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name for saying?
Within the Aluku Enterprise, that's my company name.
Sure. Not your person bisa main cover for. Okay, now person you bisa say more leadership say more reduce the prices of most spare parts. No, so they are public and so be feel is okay. You see the na stable kakra. O person can them found.
To be possible. Because meanwhile, I've been changing dollar about 15.75 as just about 2 months ago, and the goods just arrived about 2 weeks ago. So it's a possibility for me to changing that high amount and lose that now. It's going to cost me definitely. So if only it will be better, that dollar will come to stay about like other countries. When you go to South Korea, you go to like Dubai and them, they don't have any problem here.
Well, Semefa Pesu from Abosokai bringing us updates. We're still in a dilemma. We shall hear from the leadership of Abosokai spare parts dealers a little later on the midday bulletin. But right now, though, let's engage or speak to the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana to see if there's an impact on the goods at the port particularly. Samson Asaki Awingobert is Executive Director of the group. Thank you for joining us this morning. Are you able to confirm to us whether you are really feeling the impact of the cedi appreciation, particularly at the port?
Myself. Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, MFA. Yes, of course, it is an appeal. That is why it is not a mandatory. And I was happy that the first gentleman they spoke to said that if he's to go and pick goods today, and it reflects with the current position, current prices or rate, he will also reduce his prices. And I think that is the right way to go. We are appealing, or even the government is even appealing to the business community. There's nowhere they say that it's a law or it's a compulsory. So yes, if you go to the port today, I think customs is using about 13.10 something in calculation duty today. And that is the beauty of it. What it means is that when customs were using maybe more than 13 cedis, there was a high for the business person. So if today one is clearing at the port today and is using the current rate that customs is using, then what it means is that it's going to help reduce your cost of doing businesses. Then it will reflect in our market.
So you're telling us that today, if I went to the port, I will feel a difference in the amount of money that I'll be using to clear my goods at the port. But the sellers or the traders are saying that, well, unless they sell a significant amount of their old stock, they are unable to, affect any reduction in the prices. What do you say to that?
Well, that is why the gentleman talk about. I'm sure the one that he spoke to probably is not an importer. He is maybe he's a retailer. So he's buying it from the importer, and then he's now doing the retailer. So what it means is that if he goes back to the importer to buy today, and the price of the importer who have cleared goods at the port today and seeing the rate that has come down, that has given him some kind of level of savings, definitely he will not give to him the same price. And that is what I think that was why, out of that wisdom, that when we stakeholders met with the minister, said, give us some few days, let us adjust our sales, let us look into how sustainable the currency would be. Then going forward, prices of it will come down. But I can tell you, many other commodities prices are coming down. That one for sure.
Okay.
If they should go to the bulky wholesalers to buy goods today, come and do distribution in the market, you will see that prices is coming down.
Mr. Wingobe, thank you for talking to us this morning. You're watching News Desk. Go for a quick break. When we come back, business, please stay.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Deputy Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Richard Jan Mensah, has announced government's plans to roll out sustainable energy infrastructure, including the establishment of electric vehicle charging stations across the country. According to him, the initiative will be implemented in collaboration with oil marketing companies as part of efforts to promote the adoption of electric vehicles and support Ghana's transition to cleaner energy. He made the remarks at the CEO's time with the ambassador and the minister event organized by the Ghanaian German Economic Association in Accra.
Much opportunity in the export business over here. Myself and my directors are developing the Youth in Export program. And what you seek to do with that basically is to visit some communities with that and meet with the community leaders.
In this year's budget that I witnessed, there wasn't any concession made for that. However, in terms of the electric vehicles, government is making steps. We're actually trying to work with the NPA, the National Petroleum Authority, to rope in the filling station owners to have the renewable energy charging, the EV charging points at respective 4 filling stations for the start. We know some malls and then trade centers have the facility, but because we want to encourage it, most filling stations, we are actually working with them to get them at the various filling stations so that we can actually speed up the process. In terms of the long-term effect, I know once government is going in the direction of encouraging the use of much more cleaner fuels, and we want to promote the use of EVs, obviously I know government will consider some of these concessions in terms of the taxes.
All right, that's your business update. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. We will be right back.
Welcome back to News Desk. It'll be a wrap for the bulletin for today, but I'll see you at midday with more news. While you're with, though, do log on to myjoyonline.com, and our top story this morning, a rather sad one. 3 confirmed dead in a Delta flood. MCE blames construction on waterways. Details on our portal if you visit www.myjoyonline.com. I am MFA Akosiadeti. I'll see you at 12.